Welcome to BECBC's weekly podcast. This week we've invited Dianne Richardson, Director of the Board and also Social Impact Lead for KBR, to talk to us about what's been going on with the BECBC Task Force and also about some of the things that are coming up in future for BECBC. Hi Dianne, nice to have you on the podcast.
Hello Jutta, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Dianne, can you tell us a little bit more about what was discussed today on the task force and maybe give us some ideas of what's being planned?
Yes, of course, yeah. So we had a really good meeting this afternoon. Lots of thoughts and ideas coming in. And what's really core there is listening to our members and making sure that we're there to support them. So the cluster's got a very diverse set of members facing very diverse circumstances at the moment. So we've got members who are currently still working, they still have their workforce there, delivering essential help fighting the COVID-19 or keeping nuclear safe or doing essential jobs in all sorts of different ways. We have members who have had to furlough their employees and are trying to figure all that out. We have members where all their employees are working from home with all the IT challenges that come with that. And the wellbeing challenges, which I'll talk a bit more about in a second. And then we have a lot of self-employed, one-man bands, so to speak, who are facing their challenges as well. So we were talking a lot about how we make sure we do what each of those members really needs to support them. And one of the things that's very much coming through, which I'm leading on, is wellbeing. So that's wellbeing of the business, but also wellbeing of the staff. Because what we're hearing from a lot of the owners is, all my staff are working remotely now and I'm worried about them getting isolated. I'm worried about making sure that they keep their spirits up, that they understand what they're contributing. So there's a lot of things going on there that we're discussing what we can do in future to make sure they've got everything they need.
That's great. And can you tell us a little bit more about some of the practical things that BECBC is putting in place and how members can get help or where they can plug in?
Yep, no problem. So straight away we have a wellbeing booklet that is available on the website, and a huge thank you to the Wellbeing Forum and the BEC project who shared that with us as open source. So any of our members can use that for their members of staff. They can adapt it, they can brand it up if they want to. It gives all the telephone numbers that might be needed if somebody's struggling. It gives some advice, really, really useful tool, and they can just download that from the website now. We also have one of our members who's stepped up. We've got our first online meeting on Wednesday, which is Emma Jane Gooch and Tom from our board, and they're doing an online Q&A. Now, the following one, the next online offering that we're going to have will be Anchor Point, who've offered to do something around wellbeing, give our members some really useful tools to make sure that they can keep their teams positive in times where we're all thinking, what's going on? It all feels a bit out of control, I think, at the moment. And businesses are working really hard to get that control back and make sure they can keep contributing to the economy, and also make sure their teams are kept well at home.
Yeah, that's great. So that means on the website, if members look out for events and different information, it's not only about how to get your business back up and running, but it is also about the individuals and how they can manage and how they can look after but also their staff members' well-being.
Absolutely. And one of the things I would say is that we are all as a board really keen to support our members. And if they are struggling, whether they be struggling as individuals or they be struggling as businesses, please do reach out to us. We're here to help them.
Great. Thank you so much, Dianne, for coming on the call. Appreciate it.
Thank you.